I don't know if this is working yet, but I'm going to just share my screen. I have my. Ooh, okay. Trying to find 989. Trying to find the picture that I'm supposed to edit and that I planned to edit. So 989. 989. I think I found it. 8989. Where is 89? Good. So I'm opening up my file. Um, hmm, how does one share screen on this thing? It's weird. I don't know. Try again. Share screen. So it doesn't show. For some reason, I'm not seeing my Affinity tab as one of the screens to share. And that's what I want to share. How do I get this to work? So let's see. Let's share screen. I know that we're supposed to use a different. Oh, okay, I think I found it now. Okay, share. Okay, yeah. So, so this is the picture that I want to edit today, and we're going to try and edit this picture. When I start off in Affinity Photo, I like to go to these areas and do a few things. So I can let me zoom into the picture so you can see what's happening. How does one? Okay, sure. Let's move this. I need a better way of arranging my window. I don't know how to go about that. Like a better customization. I've been looking through different channels to see if people have like better customization settings, but like better studio settings. I wish this thing was not gray. I wish it was white. I don't know why. Even though I like to work in dark mode, I kind of wish it was white. Sometimes it's just easy on the eyes. Anyway, I'm going to increase this to, I'm going to see what decreasing this does. So Affinity is very slow. This is why I don't really like to go live with editing because Affinity likes to disappoint sometimes. Or generally editing software, they all act the same. So we're reducing my clarity gives. I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. Like let me see if I turn this off. Um if I turn it off. I don't see what it does. Sometimes I think it's not making that much of a difference because the picture is not a close up picture. I think if it was a close up picture of maybe just the face, then I would see the effects in real time. But it's okay. I'll just leave it at say 5. I'm not going to touch my contrast. I want to try and deal with that later. So I'm going to go ahead and develop. So white balance, I'm okay with what I have because I shot the image the way I wanted it to be. or the way I shot images, how I wanted it to be color wise. I'll still play around with, selective color and color grading and whatnot later, but this is just kind of what I wanted out of camera. So I'm okay with not touching this for now. I can go ahead and click on develop. And this are the settings, by the way, if anyone is interested in that. I have my eyes on 800. I shot wide open because I do like to shoot wide open. It gives like this soft edge that I like. And I used a 50 lens. So I might post the actual shoot video this weekend, hopefully. I don't know. Let's see how things go. So if I click on develop, we have to, okay, there we go again. Okay, it did work fast now. So now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate I think I'll duplicate my image. So Control J to duplicate the image, Control J or Command J if you're using a Mac OS. So now I'm going to grab my clone brush tool. So for my clone brush tool, I will zooming in, and we're going to try and work on the big things that we're noticing right off the bat. So I think I'm going to reset this. I'm not sure what this is doing, but clone brush tool is what I want to use. So I grab my Alt key and I just hammer that. Okay, it's the response is slow, but that's what I have for now. Okay, so you can see that it did take care of it, but something I'm noticing is that okay, it's darker. So I'm going to change the mode of the clone brush to let me use normal first off and see if that works the way I want. So Alt and stamp on that. Okay, that works fine. I think my brush is too big, so I'm going to reduce the size just a little bit for this place. Alt and stamp, Alt and stamp, Alt, stamp, like that, like that. This just this way. For some reason, it's looking darker, and I don't know why it's darker. I can't really put my finger on why it's darker. It's not supposed to be darker. So it's supposed to be, say, you know what? Let me see. Current layer. Let me current layer and below. Okay, let me give that a shot. I don't know if that's a good idea. Um, no, it's still darker, and that's not what I'm. Alt. Okay, I think we're good for now. Oh no, not really good. Something is going on with this thing. It's not supposed to be this dark, but let's just keep working. Um, so I won't really touch. It's not like I'm going to touch every single blemish before I do the actual frequency separation, but I will take care of as much. Just the really obvious ones that are just there in your face, kind of. I have a lot of texture on my skin. Um, post acne, post acne, post breakout texture. So for this reason, I actually do not like editing my own pictures, like pictures of myself rather. I prefer to just shoot and free, but for the purpose of just, okay, I don't like how this thing is looking. Let me switch to lighter to see if it's going to give me, or lighten, um, give me what I want. Okay, I think we're okay. That looks better. This kind of thing where you start doing too much, and I want to be mindful of that. I don't want to start doing too much. So let me see what this looks like. Okay. I'm going to try and take care of as much as I can with this place. That's not bad. Okay. I'm not to paste out what I'm getting from here with clone stamp. Okay, I think that the lighting is doing a little too much here, so I'll switch to normal. Let's see what happens with that one. So it gets darker and then it gets lighter, which is so weird, but okay. Hopefully when I get to do my okay, frequency separation, it gives me a better result because this is looking funny at the moment. And the funny thing is that the picture that's currently on the thumbnail of this video is was edited slightly different or almost the same way, and I didn't get this darker look when I was doing my using the clone brush. Sorry for you. You've been hearing me call it clone stamp. Clone stamp is like a Photoshop term for it. So just doing this and well, this I mean coming from where this is where we're coming from and this is where we're at, and I think that we have made quite a difference. To be honest, this is one of those things that would not show or would not make a difference to just a regular viewer. If another photographer is viewing or another retoucher is viewing, yes, they would see and be like, "Oh, I don't like this here. She should have done this. She should have done that." But for a regular person, they're not noticing all these tiny hairs. That I mean, the lace definitely is something that would be you're going to see the lace, so it'd be nice. But like this, it's not going to make a big deal to a client or to most clients, except your client is a retoucher or a photographer. So I think we're okay where we're at. I'm going to um let me see, what do I want to do? I want to go ahead and merge down. So if I right click, I should be able to okay. Let me see if I can I merge down? So for some reason it only lets me merge visible. I think it's because when I opened my file, I did not open it as a pixel layer. So usually if you open as a pixel layer, I think that's it. That's what I can think of at the moment. If you open as a pixel layer, you should be able to merge down. For some reason, let me see if it's available here in edit. No, it's usually in layer. So hmm, I'm going to merge selected. Let me see, what does that do? Um, I don't know if I'm waiting for something to happen or if I click merge selected. Okay, this is taking a lot of time. Get away for it. Mm, 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 mm. Well, while that is fixing itself, I don't know what exactly is happening. Merge selected. I don't think merge selected is doing anything. I'll just change it to merge visible. So merge visible is like when you do Control Alt Shift and E. When you press those four buttons together, you get one pixel layer, and that seems to have worked. Merge down would have merged the two and created just one file. And I think it's because I opened as like a raw embedded as opposed to a pixel layer. It's something that you check that you choose on the develop panel. I started doing that because I was batch editing at some point in Affinity, so I had to do it that way to batch edit. But I didn't remember to change that option. So anyway, I have this layer and this is the layer. I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to group these guys. So that's like that serves as my before, you know, or I say like um I'm just gonna call it before for the purpose of this video. So before, and then this is the pixel layer, and this layer is the layer I'm going to apply my frequency separation to. So frequency separation, basically click that button or under the filters and you go ahead and do what you want to do. So the higher you go, the more texture you intend to keep here. I don't intend to keep a lot of texture because I'm going for a soft look. So I don't really want the texture as much. So I think 4.5 should do. Or let me just use 5. Yeah. And I will click. Oh, should I use? Yeah, let's use 5. Now click apply. So it's going to create two layers, the high frequency and low frequency layers. The high frequency layer is for your texture. So you get to edit your texture there. And the low frequency is for your color. And you get to edit your colors there. So I'll start out with my low frequency layer. I'm going to grab my brush, which is the mixer brush. This is your equivalent of paint mixer brush, mixer brush. I honestly I don't remember the terms anymore, but that's what you would use in Photoshop if you're using Photoshop. So if I zoom in, I would just zoom in just enough for my face to fit in the window in the working workspace and use that brush, increase the size a bit and just start mixing colors together. So you can see this area is dark enough. Just mix that one. You can see this area is light, mix that part together. I didn't talk about my settings. Flow is always on 100 for me, or recently actually, because I know I have an older video where my flow was much lower, but I figured that flow and strength, the strength is what I need to adjust when I'm working with this brush. So this works for me. I use 7 most times. Sometimes I go lower, sometimes I go higher. It really depends on my mood or actually the picture. Because it's not a close up picture, I don't really care too much. So I will be just brushing colors that look similar. So for that hair place now, I try to like cover it up with the color so that everything just blends nicely. So you can see that this is more of shiny forehead than. So I'll just leave it that way. To be honest, that was how the picture came out. So I won't do too much. Anyway, the point is to mix similar or colors in the same zone, similar colors in the same zone. So this reddish area mixed together, and then there's this contour area that's just underneath my cheekbone, which I'll just mix that way. And then there's this area around the lips that just looks similar. Just mix that area that way. Same thing here and like so. Just mixing. Sorry for the sound you might be hearing in the background. That's is my fridge. Just mixing and mixing till I'm comfortable with what I have. Excuse me. So, yep. Need to do that in the eye area. This area is for the contour for the nose. Now that I look back and I think I should have done a little more contouring of my nose. But I was going for a light, would I say light or maybe like almost an editorial look, but not really, really editorial. I don't even know what I was doing. I was just experimenting to be honest. So I would just take care of the contour, just mix those areas together. Same thing with this the side. I think I need to fix this in the high frequency, but I'll just let me wrap up this place a bit. I like to start off with this layer because when I eventually go back to my high frequency, or when I start with the high frequency, the colors are much look much better, and I can clone stamp or use the clone brush better, or whatever brush I decide to use. Sometimes I use the ink painting brush, so it's really depends. I also be mixing similar colors here as well. Um, I don't know if I've said it before, but for this picture, I used the Rembrandt lighting. I used one flash. That was the light for this shoot. So I used one flash coming from this area. So it hits like this side. The light was hitting like this side. And then this area is dark, just giving this soft shadows on this side, which I think is I didn't really know too much about Rembrandt lighting. I really just used to put my lights on the side, but not like from the top. But just when I put it from the top, I used the boom arm, and that made it come out really nice. And I've been a fan of that for some time now. I've been setting up that way. Right now, I'm just thinking of getting continuous light. Continuous light. I I want to experiment more with continuous light. I have been using flash for a while, and I think I would love to get that feeling where you see your picture, whatever you see on camera is what you're getting. I really would love that. So I'm thinking of continuous light, but I haven't really found an affordable or an affordable and good light source or gadgets or gear. I have the Ulanzi 40 watt, and it's very annoying to use, to be honest. Okay, not very annoying. I think it's really good for people who do video, but for me, photography, it's good for a kind of when you're looking for like dramatic vibes, yeah. But when I'm trying to get like soft portraits, it's not ideal because I get a lot of like intense shadows and intense, what's it called? Intense highlights with it. Anyway, that's pretty much it for me on my rant about lighting. This looks good so far. I can just hold on my shift so that okay. Can this return to mouse? Okay, good. So you can see where we're coming from. I think that we have made subtle difference, but good enough. I'm going to just touch on this area just a little bit. So this is okay with me. I think this is okay with me. Enter. Okay, that looks good. Good. So now I'm going to go to my high frequency and zoom in just to see if there are any other spots that really need to be touched. I will be using my clone brush. I don't know why it's doing this. I'm going to take my flow to 80 because I don't know if that's the problem. Maybe that was no, that's not the problem. I'm gonna reset this again. Hmm, strange. Is there a way? I know when I used to use Photoshop, there is usually a way to reset your brushes to what you want. Or am I on the wrong brush? Maybe that's where the issue is. So I'm gonna just quickly go in here and see. Um, I usually use 16, so I don't think that that's where my problem lies. I'm gonna try this one and see. Okay, now come back here. It's a bit scary. Okay. It's coming insane. Um, is there a way to reset my brush? You know what? I'm going to use my in painting instead. While I figure out what's going on with that later. So I can use this here to fix like little. Wait, is it fixing it or am I playing? Okay, good. So fix like little things that I'm saying. Honestly, I don't think this is like super important, at least to me. But I'm just doing it for. So it's sometimes a lot of work to try to take care of all the pits on the skin. But take care of as many as I can. So all these stray hairs on the face, it's just like these are the kind of things I like to take care of with this brush. Discovered recently that you can actually go and draw your own hair strands, especially to feel of places like this. I won't be doing that today. I'm going to try. I just learned about it or I heard about it. I watched a video on it actually, and I'm going to try and do it and see if it works. Maybe I won't try with like black natural hair and see what I get. But yeah, I'm just gonna try and take care of as much as I can. But my background is very blurry, so sometimes this is just let me hide this first off. Can I is this something we can move? Oh gosh. Okay. I'm gonna take care of this one. Mm, increase the side of the brush. Okay. I don't know what this is supposed to do here. Now that I press this. Okay, no. I'm not trying to blur everything. Okay, this is just okay for me. I mean, for a client, I'll go further and really get into it and do a lot, but that's not the point of this picture. This is okay for now. I'm going to group this, guys. Ctrl G, and this will be my frequency separation layer. And now I can go ahead and do some dodging and burning. You can go ahead and use this tool here. Where's the dodge tool? I think it's this. This is the burn. Yeah, so dodge and burn. You can do that, but I do that when I'm doing batch editing because yeah, it makes sense. But I'm just editing one picture, so I don't feel need to do that. I go the long route because I can always adjust things as I want. So I'm going to bring this down, and this would be my burn. Okay, I need it to be softer, so I might take that back up. I don't need it to be that much. Great. And I'm going to get another curves layer, and this will be my highlight. Now make it to high, just high enough, because I know I'll see add some brightness to the picture later. So dodge. Okay. Now I'm going to create mask for each of these layers. I'm going to go ahead and do it here and here. Affinity likes being slow. I'm just going to quickly save because things happen and I don't want an experiment happening to me. I usually label my files AEF, Affinity Edit file, because I just like that. This was a previous image I edited before, but for some reason I can't open it. I don't know what happened. Every time I try to open it, it says the file got corrupted. It's really weird. I'm gonna stop for a bit and just see what's happening on YouTube. Okay, nothing's happening at the moment. Good. Going to go back and share. Back to my window and share. Gonna move this down here. Okay. So I have this mask created. Now you can see the mask. I don't know why it does that, but well. Now I'm going to I'm going to invert the two of them. So you can right click if you want to. Hold on a second. Actually, it doesn't even let you right click actually. Anyway, you can just go ahead and Ctrl I for the two of them. Make sure you're clicking inside the small box that has been created. Now you grab your brush tool and you have I think your flow could be lower. Actually, it needs to be much lower. So I'm going to set my flow to about, say, 2. I notice that the shadows here get dark real quick. So I'm going to turn this off. Oh, I'm going to leave this on. Now I'm turning off my frequency separation because I want to see where the light and the shadows naturally fall on the picture or naturally fell on the subject in the picture. And I'm also going to create what I'll call a black and white layer. It kind of helps with figuring out where your shadows and your highlights should be. And you can see how obvious it is here, but I'm going to take this down a little bit, maybe towards this. So this helps you to see where highlight is, where shadow is. And with this turned off, you can just do it on the original. You can paint on the original highlights and shadows. So I'm on the dodge layer now, and that's for the highlights. And I'm going to go ahead and paint white. Make sure your brush is set to white, your foreground color. So just paint on that and paint on that. I don't want to go too much into here because I think I'll put shadows here. Now people ask about how I know people ask about how they can figure out where the highlights should be on, especially on the face of women when they have like makeup on. What I would just say basically is anywhere close to the hair, the perimeter of the hairline is a contour. Most times is a contour. Sometimes you have a highlight if the person has a really small forehead, but it's mostly shadows that you put here. That's what you call contouring makeup. And then the cheekbones, just now you can't see the ear here, but just it's like a line that comes from the is it sideburn that's I think it's called sideburns. So that area is really dark. So coming downward this way would be dark. Same thing on the other side of the ear or on the other side of the face rather. And then for the nose, women try to contour their nose so that it's slimmer or it looks slimmer. Now you won't do this with every kind of face or with every face. Sometimes if I have a client and they have like really small nose, I wouldn't draw a line here like this. I'll just highlight that point in between the eyes and then maybe somewhere down here, and that's it. I won't like go ahead and start drawing contour except they did it with makeup by themselves. So that's like basically it. So I'd say the highlights normally when you see someone's face, even without makeup, you see highlights on the forehead, on the top of the cheek, and under the chin. Those are the places that you most likely see that it looks lighter than the rest of the skin on the face. So I put highlights in those places and I push shadows in like on the perimeter and on the cheekbone. And that's pretty much it. And maybe under the chin, like underneath. And that's it. But you can always go online and search for highlight contour makeup look so you know where to put what. Now with the dodge, I'm going to just paint on areas where I can see that there's some highlighting. Could occasionally just go back and forth to see what changes have been made. It looks very subtle, but it's there. So I'm just lightly brushing. I'm not applying any form of pressure on my tab. I didn't say this before, but I'm using a tablet, a with a pencil. I used to use a mouse at some point, but I think I've gotten used to using a tablet now, so I just stick to that. But then I know I can always use a mouse. That's a good thing. Starting with a mouse. If I'm ever stuck, I can always go back to a mouse. But yeah, this I highlight the eyes as well because I feel like light needs to be there, and the chin area. Apply some highlight there, and also would not honorable mention would be the neck. So honorable mention for the neck. Um, lights here as well down the chest, and then obviously the hair. Now, sometimes I like to create a separate layer to highlight the hair, but I think I should do that. So I'm just going to free that for now. I'll come back to that later. So highlights here, and then highlights on the nose. Just here is fine. I don't think I need to go all the way. Just here and here, and then maybe a little here, and highlight the lips too, because I think it's a good idea too. And then we can go to, let me see, where else needs highlighting? Okay, here. There's some, need some highlights in here, here. And you can see that the fingers are slightly lighter. Make sure that those are covered with light. And that's, let me zoom out. So if I turn this off, you can see it's really subtle, but I think that it makes a little bit of difference. I also highlight the jewelry. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. It's really a thin line, to be honest. But I think that this place needs a little bit of light. Okay. So I might make this 3% for some places now. Hold on, 3. Oh God. Okay. So I'll just do it for here. Not everywhere needs that, but I think some parts would need it. And let me see where else would need that. This area. This area. I'm gonna make the brush bigger. I will zoom out actually. Okay, and this chest area. And I think that we're good with that. I'm going to go ahead and do my burn layer. Moving on to burn, I will be adding shadows to the forehead, towards the hairline, just the hairline, and then the pattern of the hair. Going to add some shadow there too, just that on that line. This is just how I feel it should be done. It's really up to you what you decide to do. But I think that that place is really somewhat darker, except the light is directly hitting it. So I'm going to paint that area that way, and then going to go ahead and do this areas. Okay, so I can see that this area is somewhat dark. Oh god, I forgot to reduce this to 2. That's okay. I don't need it to be too much. So 2 is fine. You can see where there's a contour. I'm going to go ahead and paint that area as well. And then the face around the nose, going to add my contour line to make the nose appear slimmer. Also going to paint on, because I know that when I did the makeup, the eyelids were somewhat dark. So I'm going to add some to that area. And then um there is some area on the neck here that needs to be a bit darker. Then the, will I say, is it middle of the rib or something? And then here, it's a bit dark as well. Here as well. And I think, let me go in and see what, so you can see the difference that that made on the hairline. Like if you look at this place, you can see how much better that looks. You can turn this off so you see in real time what it looks like. So this is it before, and this is it after. Before and after. Before, after. I can just paint it a little more just so that it's really what I want it to look like. So go back on dodge and just add a little more. Can increase this back to 2 or 3. 2 is fine actually. Just add more light here and light here. Actually, I'm going to add lights to this whole place, because this whole place is usually where it's lit. Okay, the lips, and I think that that is somewhere around what I want. Now I'm going to turn this back on so you see where we are at with our edits. And at the moment, it doesn't look like a lot. You're like, okay, what has really changed? Things are changing, but they're changing little by little. Let me zoom out so you see. So we're at, this is where we're coming from. This is where we're at the moment. Off, on, off, on. Okay, now I'm going to create one more dodge layer, and that layer is going to be, so it's a curve adjustment layer, or it'll be dodging for the hair. I'm just going to name it dodge, and then just name it hair so that I know what it's for. I'm going to create a mask, and obviously Ctrl I to invert the mask, and then grab my brush again, because it's the hair and I need the highlights to be highlighting. So I'm just going to go ahead and I turn this back on so that I can see what's going on. Since it's the hair, I don't need to bother about frequency separation because that was really for the skin. And I'm just going to add highlights to wherever I think highlights should be at. Okay, so the place I feel like I need highlight to be just these areas, just where I can see that it's a little light. So I'm not adding it everywhere, just the areas I feel like it. This is going to be dark at the end of this, so I'm not going to do too much there. But this is really where a lot of the lights fell. So I'll just add my lights or add my highlights there. And then, so if I turn this off, and then you're like, what is this? Doesn't even look like a lot, but it is something. Okay. I'm going to add another curve layer. I'll do this one. It'll be shadows, but it would be for the hair as well. I want it to be a bit, so I'll call it burn for the hair, and I would add the mask, Ctrl I to invert, and I'm going to add, so this area where I added the, where I added shadows before, I'll be adding shadows again, just so that it looks fuller along the pattern. Let me give you what it looks like before. This is before, this is after. So the pattern looks a bit fuller than it is. Okay. So now that that's done, let me see. Okay, I don't really need to do too much. That's okay. So I think that's enough of dodging and burning stuff. Going to go ahead and close all of that up. I group them as dodge and burn. And now that that's done, next thing I would do is to grab I'm going to grab the selective color. Well, let me try one more curve. Now this curve will be part of my attempt at color grading. It's something I'm still experimenting with, but let me see. If I go into, say, the reds, let me see what happens. It becomes too yellow. It becomes too red. It becomes too yellow. What does it look like if I bring? Okay, this is too much. Definitely not what I want. This is too much. I'm gonna reset that. If I do this, okay, and this, yeah, this never makes sense. So let me see. Let me try the green. If I bring the green down, take it up. Okay, reset that. Move it this way. Absolutely not. Move it this way. That's too much. Okay, what of this one? Makes my picture a little too red, so I'm not a fan. Gonna reset that and go to master, and then master I'm going to move this way, and then maybe make this way. I'm gonna reset this way a bit, and then move. What does this? Okay, that just makes it transparent. Gonna move this way, then take this up a little. I don't think I'm a huge fan of what I'm saying, but you know what? Let me close this for a minute. Okay. So I'm gonna delete that one and create another adjustment layer. Let's go into, say, selective color. I think my problem is that I want to, hmm, I'm going to export what I've done. Export what I've done so far. Control, you can use right click and click merge visible, or you can just use the buttons on the keyboard. So it's Control Alt Shift and E, and you have a pixel layer created. I can delete this for now. I no longer need it for now, and I have one pixel layer that I'm going to now apply all my new adjustments to. First thing I'm going to do is switch this to a different blend mode. I love what I'm seeing on multiply, but let me try something. Let me see what the others have to give me. There's color burn, linear, darker color, lighten, screen, color dodge, add, lighter color, overlay. Hmm. I gravitate towards the darker, moody colors, blend modes a lot. Okay, soft light, hard light, vivid light, absolutely not. All of this, absolutely not. Let's go down. Difference, exclusion. No, no, hue. I don't even know what this does. Saturation, color. No. So what I have been liking recently, let me see what reflect does. Negation, reflect. This isn't bad. Okay, now I don't know if there's a difference between these two. One of them makes the jewelry glow more. Is it you? Is it you? I don't know what this is. Well, let me try. I've been using glow, so I really want to stick to it. So let me stick to it. Going to make the opacity of that effect, say, let's make it about 80, right? Or 85. You know what? It could be as dark as possible, really. Let's make it 90, right? And then I'm going to create a mask. And then I'm going to take the effect off the skin. Set the flow to about, say, now we don't want it totally off the skin, but just as much of it will be off. So let me set it to about 80. Let's see what happens with that. Set this to black because you're painting on white. And then, okay, I'm going to increase the size of my brush. Let's see what that gives me. There's no way this is legal. So I'm going to undo that. Okay, undo that fully. And I will, noise. Okay, good. I'll try again. I'll create a mask again. Set the flow to about, say, 15. Let me see what that does. Let's see. I don't like that either. I think I'm realizing that when I do these things, I'm better off just applying whatever effects I want on here. So let me try the did I try the brightness and contrast, or let me see what that does. No, it's like inverting all the work I did, and that's not what I want. So no, no. I'm going to go for a curve. Or actually, I haven't used a channel mixer before. Let's go for Let's go for selective color. And then on our reds, I'm going to try and make our reds lighter. Oh, hell no, 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 no. Oh my god. No, but at just 4% is not bad. Going to go to yellow. Gonna make them lighter. No, let me reset that for a second. Let's go into whites. No, actually, I think I know where to be. Neutrals. Take that up. Or take the yellows up. Hmm, no, no, that's too much. Well, isn't this the consequences of my action? I'm going to reduce this even further. I think I know what to do with the effect. So having it at say 75 or 70, whatever, that's okay. And then I'm going to get a curve, going to increase that a little to where the light falls. Now I realize something else I could have done. If I go on here and I select my uh blend options, this is shadows, this is highlights. I want that effect to stick to the shadows, so I can take it down from the highlights. Yeah, does that make sense? Let me see what taking from shadows will do. Absolutely not. Yeah, I'm on the right track, so I can take it down from the highlights. Right, and for my curves, I don't mind what I see. Let's see the blend mode of this. I can take it away. I don't want it affecting the shadows. Yeah, this way is just perfect. Yep. And now I also want to add some, I'm going to go on my brightness and contrast. Oh, there's actually one more. I think it's called split onion. I haven't used this in a while, but usually with this one, I want the hue of my shadows to be, let me say, blue, green, and then the hue of my highlights should be yellow. This is what blue is. Okay, funny things have started to form on my. Going to do that for a second because I'm seeing things that I shouldn't be seeing. What do you mean? What is this? Um, I'm trying to remember how this happened. Okay, so it's not from that. I did not watch what was happening. I think it's from my blend mode. I mean, that's not the problem. Oh, right. I think it's my blend mode for this one. So let's see. Now I can't tell if Affinity is slow or I'm gonna have to delete this because now I'm confused as to why I have those things. Okay, let's just do that again. Okay, these two merge visible. And then change my blind mode to glow. Oh, it's right from here. Great. So I'm going to go in my blind modes and see how to fix that. What I don't know is if it's the shadows. It doesn't seem like the shadows on the highlights. So I'm trying to get rid of these things I'm saying, and I'm not sure. Let me reset this, please. Great. If I take this down to about what? Okay, so it's more of a highlight problem. I'm going to go in the blend mode and take it away from the highlights. Great. So yeah, that got rid of it, but now it's taking off all the yellows I have on my face, on the skin. So yeah, that got rid of it. Exactly. Okay, great. Beautiful stuff. Now I'm going to go ahead and add those colors back with I'll try color balance. So I'm going to add in some to my midtones or to my highlight actually. I'm going to add some yellow to my highlight and maybe a bit of red. To my midtones, I'll be adding same thing, some yellow and some red. And to my shadows, I'm going to add in maybe a bit of, okay, blue is a little too much. Either way, anything you're adding is too much. So, oh God. Okay, let's just leave shadows alone because shadows are already not in the mood. Okay, I can add like one. No, actually, no. I'll keep it at zero. What does this do? I don't see what this does. Okay. So midtones, 10 is probably too much. 5 is fine. I'm going to keep both of them at 5 basically. Another thing I can do is get another curve or let's try selective adjustment. To my reds, I'll be adding some more yellow into the mix. I don't want too much yellow. And then I'll be making them a bit lighter. Okay, making them lighter is not helping. Maybe a bit darker. Okay, go into my yellows. I'll be adding some yellow to the yellow so it can be yellower. And then for my let's see, neutrals, I'm making them a bit lighter. And what darker is not even bad. Adding some yellow to that. Okay, I think I'm heading somewhere with this. 3 is okay. Whites. Do we have whites in this picture? Not really, but we can make them lighter though. I mean, the whites to be on the highlights of the picture. Yeah, that's the highlights. All the way to the end? No, halfway is good. And then for greens, I make them a bit darker. Was lighter. I think that Photoshop recognizes this background as blue. So let me see if that helps. Darker. I don't even see anything that's happening. Because I had to be watching to see if those funny things form again on picture, but so far I think we're good. So something else I would like to note is to reduce the opacity of this thing because now it's a little too much. Yeah, this is okay. I think this is okay. Yeah. 65 is fine. What I can do to make the background darker is to actually darken it. So I'll create a curves adjustment layer and then bring this down and then go ahead and select my subject if I want to use this method. Um, I don't know why. Is it selecting or am I fooling myself? Okay, it's selecting. I'm going to select my subject. Maybe I add the entire table as well because the only place I really need to be dark is the backdrop. Oh, we selected while we playing. Okay, good. Um, this way, this way. I need this entire thing selected. So I'm going to escape because I don't know what just happened. Maybe increase the size of my brush a bit. Okay, so I can see what I'm doing because clearly I don't know what was happening before. Okay. Does anyone know how much faster I would have been if I just stuck to what I know or what I knew or what I know? Because what is this? Okay, that's fair enough. Going to subtract that part because it's not supposed to be part of it. Hopefully it's, oh God. Okay, I'll just manage that. Switch back here and add this part to it. That's manageable. I do not want this part, so subtract again because this is the part of the background, sort of. Okay, that's okay. I will go ahead and create a mask of that by clicking the mask button. Hopefully that works. And let me control I. Okay, I think that worked just fine. Going to click outside or escape. Let's go ahead and see if it worked as much as I'm a bit confused on about whether this worked or not. Hold on a second. Going to go in file and save. Saving because I'm hoping that it ensures that this is showing the way it should show. I don't know why it does that. When I invert a mask, it doesn't show me immediately what I'm doing, or it doesn't show that the mask is inverted. Okay, so that happens for that to happen. So I'm going to click on this again and see. So that did not do what it should have done. So let me go ahead and grab that again. Okay, so select my subject again. One would think that using SSD drives would make this better, but things are not really better. Okay, this is a fair enough selection. I'm gonna add this to it. I'm going to click in there and Control I. Okay, so now that that is there, and I can now go ahead to my mask. Going to click outside of my selection to commit. Control D to remove the marks that are showing. Come in here. Oh God, undo that. That was not supposed to happen. Okay. So if I go here, here, now it's affecting what it should not be affecting, and that's not what I want. I'm going to Control I again. Okay, so that's what I was trying to get to. So I don't want it affecting the face or the subject. I just want it affecting the background. Is the background I need to be darker or whatever. So this is okay for me. This gives me what I want. I can go ahead and maybe paint a little more. So make this area white. So use my brush with my brush set to white actually. Just so that, the edges are the way I need them to be. Just the edges. Okay. And then now I can, since I have what I want in my background, I can create another curved layer. But this one I would actually paint. So this high is okay for me. Okay, mask again. I would invert my mask with Ctrl I and then set my flow to about 2 is fine, and make my brush really big. And I'll just paint over, and I'm painting over lightly so that it's really light. Is it showing yet? Okay, it's showing now. It's really just the skin and the inner part, just close enough to the perimeter of the hair, but not really there. And just make it brighter. Let me see. Okay. Maybe I need to take this. Let me see what taking it higher would do. Okay, this is fair. That's okay for me. So, gosh, this happens a lot. I'm going to do it for the skin. Just everywhere on the skin. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, just a bit brighter. I'm also going to come in here. So I'm going to grab the color white, and you see this area. This area is supposed to be somewhat dark. So behind the flower should be dark. So I'm going to paint that as white. Going to take this all the way to, I don't know, maybe 80, 85, whatever. Just high enough. Just to paint that area. And then I'll take the color black and really go on the edge. Right. So it's that thing we're seeing there will no longer be there. Going to grab the white color, reduce the size of my brush, and go in here just enough. Okay, I'm going to grab black and just dab it a little more, and that's okay. So I'm thinking of adding, let me see, let me see. Hmm. Say shadows and highlights. Let's see what shadows and highlights and do. I'm going to increase my highlights a bit. Okay, it's too much now. The face looks really oily. I think that's okay. And then I will, you know what? Let me try one more curve. One more curve, but let's see what lab looks like. So lab lightness. Let's see. Okay, no. Okay. I think, yeah, somewhere around where I'm going, but not. Let's see. Um, yeah. I know this starts to look funny, but I will reduce the opacity. So let's take this down to about 47. Let me see what that looks like. Yeah, I wanted just a little more yellow in there. 50% is okay. I can also switch the blend modes, but I think that I do not need to. Reflect, no. It ends up changing everything. Soft light. Let me try that. I think that soft light gets a lot of PR, and on my pictures sometimes it's not all that. Darker color, screen. Definitely not screen. No, I think I'm okay with where we're at blend mode wise. I will also, I'm going to group all this color drama somewhere. Actually, this is included. I'm going to Ctrl G to group all of them. One more thing I need to do is fix the eyes. And to fix the eyes, I will be creating, let's see. I'm trying to see if I want to create a new fill layer or I want to create a saturation layer. So I create curves layer first. Can take that up. I'm going to create a mask. I'm going to grab my, going to invert that mask. Control I. Sorry if it's not showing. It's not. I realized Affinity photo is not that responsive. I'm going to paint because it should be black now, so I'll be painting with a white brush. I think I can have my flow high enough. Let's see. I don't know what is being painted because Affinity is very slow. It's a bit slow. It's not a bit slow, it's very slow. Okay. What I'm going to do is create a hue and I'm going to go to say I want like this shade of eyes. Gosh, I didn't realize this was going to be this slow. Okay, so let's say somewhere along orange and take the saturation a bit high. Now, let's see what this gives me. For some reason this method is acting funny, so I'll do a different method. A different method would be to create a new fill layer. That tends to work for me most times. So I create a new fill layer and I get like a white color. Can decide to go on Google to say, oh, what's the best color to use for eyes? Now simply go with this one. Come in here, C8 B575. Click enter. Absolutely not. That was like okay, this will work for but I want it to be a bit darker. So let me move towards this area. Yeah. And somewhere here. Seems like a lot, but I don't mind it. So I want this to be on say color. Where is color? Yeah. And I will be creating a mask for that. And I will be inverting the mask with Ctrl I. And I'm grabbing my brush. And I'm setting my flow. 75 is fine. I'm going to go ahead and just paint the eye. Oh, sorry. Undo that. Reduce the size of my brush and just it's like what is this? Oh, that's a lot. I'm going to change I don't know what the blind mode is, but let's go back. It says color, but let me see if I can make it something. Oh, what's it? I'm going to just reduce instead of trying to do that, I'll reduce the opacity to about say And then you're like, what is this? I'm going to go back and select the black. Still make sure that I'm in there. And then you see that part of the eye that is black. You try to keep it black, like in the center. Uh-oh. Now I look like I'm painting a wizard or something. I promise you that's not the case. I'm going to reduce the opacity even further. Okay, this opacity is very weird. I'm going to change it to say, where is lighten? Okay, so I don't mind. I don't mind what I'm getting with soft light. So with soft light, I'm just going to take my opacity back up. Yeah, that's okay. I'm also going to grab another um layer. So new fill layer. Where is new fill layer again? But this time around, I'm painting. I'm trying to paint the pupil. So pick a different color. I really can just stay there. But usually with this, I like to go towards like the blue areas. Can go this way or this way. And I'm going to make this. I can try to make this F. Oh, just click. So F8, F5, FA. Click enter. You can see it's somewhere around blue, purple. I create a mask again. Grabbing my brush tool, invert with Ctrl I, and I'll go ahead and paint. Okay, make my brush smaller. Just also make my set this to color so that it just does what I want. Okay, so go ahead and paint. It's like, what is this? What is this? What is this? And you're like, what is this rubbish? People are like, oh, don't do it this way. There's a more professional way to do it. It's true. There is, but I will not. Going to take my opacity down. Okay, so my opacity is acting funny. I'll probably change this to. Okay, so Affinity is very slow. I don't know if it's because I'm streaming as well. Maybe that's why it's like super slow. So this is for the iris. This is for the pupil. Okay. So if you set it to color for the pupil, this is what you get. I can increase my saturation to say, okay, it gets to purple. 40 should be fine. So you can still see like the vein on the eye and all those things. Or I can make it bigger. See, 50. Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking, what else do I really feel like doing? So for some reason, I feel like adding one more curve, and that is, see that place that we made darker before. I want to see what will happen if I make it lighter. So the parting on the hair can just make it slightly lighter. I'm going to create a mask on that one, contour eye, and just paint where I want. And it's just going to be that area. So if I grab, I'm on white painting and black. My brush is really small. I'm going to take this down to about, say, 3% is fine. I'm just going to paint just that middle, just the parting. Make sure it doesn't touch these other areas, just that middle small place. Let me see if it makes a difference. It's not making any difference. I'm confused. I feel like it should do something. And I don't know if it's not doing something because Affinity is just, if it's doing something and it's just not showing because Affinity is very slow. Okay, now I'm not seeing the difference. Now I'm doing that because usually the parting on the scalp or the scalp sometimes matches the color of the highlights on the person's skin. But in this picture, okay, it's very subtle where it's there, sort of. I'm also thinking, do I want to crop this image or do I want to leave it the way it is? Let me see. Mm, hmm. So let me do a quick um export of all I've done or a quick merging. So merging visible once again. And this time around, I want to see if I can go back to my develop panel. I'll be running off this video soon. Or rounding up. So if I go on, this is where's developer persona again? Export, toning, yeah. If I go back on develop, why am I here? I want to see what clarity will do with my picture. So this is obviously what it would do on this on the flip side, but here what's it going to um hmm, hmm, I don't mind it. So this is where we're coming from is but it helps me smoothen like the background and I do not mind that. So I will click on develop on that. Okay. Now that that's applied, I think there's one more thing I want to do. I'm going to go, there's an image that I found. There's an image that I found on the Met website that I'm thinking about using. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this image. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this part, but it's an image I found on the Met site. It's if you want to search for it, it's DP143470001. I don't know if that helps. But anyway, I'm going to try. So I want to try and bring that picture in here. I'm going to go into my folders and my downloads, and I'm just going to drag that image into my workspace. You can also go into like file place, like if you come to file place, but I think it's very slow. So this is the image. Okay, I can just bring it in. Let's see what this will do. Let's see what these will do. So this is the image, and I can just bring this underneath my picture. Okay, good. Um, so on my picture, trying to figure out where I want to create my mask. In my picture, I'm going to create a mask that's on my pixel layer. Going to create a mask, and I'm going to Control I that mask. And now I'm going to go in with my brush. I'm going to make my brush pretty big. I will turn off this layer for a second so I can, on this pixel layer, I will grab my object selection tool. I will go ahead and select my subject. I'm so sorry about how slow this thing is because I know it's probably selecting, but it's just not selecting the way it's supposed to be selecting. What is this? Wow. And I'm going this route because I didn't want to use the painting method, but at this point, at this rate, I'm going to have to. I need to escape. You can try again. Let me make my brush big. Maybe that will help. So I'm going to try again. Okay, that seems to be better. So you know that is the entire table that is going to be tape is going to be part of the selection because what I'm trying to replace now is the background. I'm going to add this flower. Okay. Now I'm going to control I for that one. So I'm inverting the mask. So now that I've done that, or hopefully I have done that. I don't know if I have because now it's not showing that I have. I'm going to go ahead and grab this and save because that's where our problems lie now. I have to save for my masks to show the way they should. So I don't know if this is showing. I come here. Going to try and select again and click Ctrl I. Okay, so this should be reset. Let's reset by pressing D. Okay, good. So Ctrl I again. Um, Apparently I should have going to delete that mask because I should have reset this to be D so that it's black and white. So I'm going to try again. Oh, you know what? I will go. I'm going to delete this entire pixel layer. Okay. I don't know why it's not deleting. Going to right click and delete. Okay, good. So this is the layer I want to use, but I'm going to come here, shift to create another pixel layer for all the editing I've done so far. Just making sure that so it will merge visible and then I'll have okay, this is really slow. I don't think I'll be doing live again for my edits because this is I think maybe it's a lot of work on crawling. I think I'm better off just doing my edits and then coming back to show you guys when I'm done. So I'm moving the pixel layer up and I'm going to create my mask again. This is set as black and white, so that's okay. And I will go ahead and oh, for some reason my pixel layer is not showing. Okay, I turned that off. Good. Oh, everything is so slow. God. Wow. Hold on a second. I think I know what's going on. I'm going to click this, guys, one more time for the obtained time. Merging visible again. I haven't stood from this chair in almost 2 hours and my body is going to feel it. Okay, so now I have a pixel layer. I'm going to move my pixel layer on top of the layer I want to use as my background. Great. And now I'm going to click on save. Now that that is saved, I'm going to create a mask. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my object selection tool like I did before. I'm going to go ahead and select. Okay, it's selecting what I did not want to select. I'm going to escape and try again. Maybe I'll make the brush bigger. I don't know if that will help. Okay, I think we're going somewhere. Okay, it's selecting. Just trying to round. Oh God. I'm going to escape again. Maybe my brush is too big. This is great. Okay. Let me try again. God. Why does he keep selecting the entire? I'm going to go with my subtraction and see if that helps me because I'm not sure if it's working. Let me just. Oh Lord. I was really trying to use the really clean method, but at this point, Affinity is too slow for all that jazz. So I'm going to press D to deselect. Ctrl D rather. Uh-oh. And now it seems, oh Christ. Now it seemed to work and then that happened. Now I don't know, do I want to try again? Or do I want to, let me try one last time and hope that it works this time. No, I'm going to close. I have one thing that's open. Maybe if I close that, things will be better. Let's try again. Oh God. Let's try again. Well, this is not working as expected, and I'm tired. So I'm going to just use the good old method of painting. I have my flow set to 100, and I'm just going to create my mask, right? And use the black color on my subjects. I'm not sure this is working or I'm fooling myself. Oh, I think I know. Okay, yeah, it's working. Didn't want to use this method, but the method was calling my name. So I'm going to go back to white and just, ensure that my subject is going to make sure it's off the table. Going to adjust my brush and ensure that like the edges are clean enough. This is what I wanted to avoid by using the clean method, but it's taking forever and ever. Obviously, this is not matching the way I would like it to, so I'll clean this off here. I'm going to now change the blend mode of this guy. So go back to the actual picture. Let me see what multiply does. Okay, that's not good. Absolutely not. Soft light, vivid light. Hmm. You know what? I don't mind that glow because I want it to be somewhat darker, but there's also what's the exclusion? Hmm. Go back to multiply or darken or color burn, linear burn, darker color. No, lighten, no, screen. Overlay. What's, what's soft light? Soft light is not even working. Let me try this average. Mm-hmm. 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 So why I don't like this blend mode is it's looking transparent, and that's not what I want. I want, you know what? Let me try one of the dark colors and see what happens with. Okay, definitely not what I'm looking towards. So it's like, no, I don't mind what's going on with glow. It's just too dark. And this I was trying to avoid with this whole blend mode. Not that all of a sudden the actual picture is not showing. I'm going to go back to with my brush too because this is weird. I'm going to paint with white so that it's as dark as it needs to be. Oh, I don't know why the mask is not showing as it should. It's really annoying, but well, it is what it is. So for this place, I'm going to make sure that this is showing the way it should. So for the hair, I'm going to zoom in just a bit so that I can really see. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Okay, that's clean enough now. Okay. Maybe I should come in here and, oh, here actually. Make this bigger. So that's like, never mind this one. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, I think we can click on this mask and refine mask. And like this refine makes things better, makes things worse. Cancel because well, this is not working as planned. Oh my god. Okay, that's not cancel. Just cancel. So what I'm trying to get rid of or trying to adjust now is, so there's a way it's looking that I'm not liking. Like it has that edge that I don't want. So maybe I should paint the edges a bit with some white. But maybe I'll have my flow really low. So if you get what I mean. So just like, uh-oh. I'll ask you for that. Okay, something's happening that I don't understand. Uh-oh. Okay, open the white instead. Okay, I think I got what I was trying to do now. Okay. Yeah. So this is my edit. Maybe I should reduce the opacity of this one a little further down. I think that sweet spot is around 50%. Maybe the only extra thing I might do is go ahead and darken it, but I don't want this video to get past its out already. So that's his edit. I'm not sure I'll be doing lives again because this, I think everything is just too much on my lap. So I'll probably stick to just my regular editing videos. But thank you to anyone that watches this in the future. I hope you find it useful in some way. And if Affinity watches this, they should fix the software, please. Please fix the software. Thank you in advance. Enjoy the rest of your time on YouTube. I'm Yemi. Bye for now.